Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is a little different. It's a reflection, a conversation, a moment of clarity I had after listening to a podcast episode that really stopped me in my tracks. On April 8th, 2025, I tuned into the very first episode of a new podcast series hosted by Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. And let me just say, this episode to me, she was interviewing her friend, the founder of Bumble, Whitney Wolfe Herd, and together they peeled back the layers of what it feels like to step into something new, to build something from the ground up. And it hit me. Work is not just employment, work is enterprise. Let me explain. We often think of a new job as something we get, a position, a paycheck, a set of responsibilities. But listening to this interview, I realized it's more than that. When you take that first step into a new job, it's not just onboarding. It is, you are launching You Inc. You are your own startup, your own CEO. You are building a brand, offering your services, navigating a new market, your workplace. Just like a founder, you bring your passions, values, and goals. You bring your knowledge, creativity, and skills. And you bring your communication style, your leadership energy, your curiosity. And every workplace, well, it has its own culture, its own market conditions, personalities, politics, expectations, trends. And you have to adapt, to understand your fit, and to show why you matter. But here's the thing. Like any new business, that beginning is a bold leap of faith, filled with passion, purpose, and the promise of growth. Every challenge faced is a stepping stone, and every small win is a sign that you are on the right path. You're juggling uncertainty, imposter syndrome, excitement, and self-doubt. There are moments when you feel like you got it right, and then there are other times when you wonder if you are even on the right path. And the podcast episode didn't sugarcoat that. It took me into the behind the scenes, the messy middle, that space between the dream and the destination, between hiring and thriving. One of the most moving parts of the episode, for me, was the reminder of how vital friends and support are. The founder talked about her support circle, those people who stood by her, advised her, held her accountable, and most importantly, believed in her when she started to forget her own power. It hit home for me. Because let's be honest, professional journeys is rarely a straight path. It is a series of highs that fuels your passion and lows that build your resilience. Each success reminds you of your purpose, while each setback strengthens your character. Together, they shape the story of growth, grit, and greatness. You're trying to prove yourself, adjust, stand out, not step on toes. It's a lot. Having mentors, those who've been where you are, can give you perspective, calm, and clarity. And community? That gives you more than just support. It gives you strength, perspective, and purpose. Community offers encouragement when the path is hard, celebrates with you when you win, and reminds you why you started in the first place. It keeps you grounded, connected, and inspired to keep going. It reminds you that you're not alone, that we all fall, fumble, and figure things out as we go. This podcast reframed so much for me. It reminded me that work isn't just something we do to pay the bills. It's something we do to grow, to express ourselves, to shape the story of who we are. We don't have to blindly follow the traditional ladder. We get to define success on our terms. Maybe it's finding meaningful work. Maybe it's doing less but doing it well. Maybe it's aligning our role with our values or choosing peace over pressure. Whatever it is, it's real. And it's all part of the journey that leads to something greater. This episode, this honest, heartfelt conversation, reminded me that starting a new job is just about fitting in. It's about standing out, not by force, but by letting your unique strengths speak for themselves. It's about building something, not just for the company, but within yourself. Because every time you step into a new role, you're investing in your business, You're refining your brand, testing your product, learning your strengths. And most of all, you're building resilience, purpose, and self-trust. So to Meghan and her guest, thank you. This conversation was more than inspiring. It reframed the way I see my career. It showed me that starting a new job is like launching a business of one. You are the brand, the strategy, and the driving force behind your own success. It reminded me that each job is a new chapter, a new venture, a chance to show up not just as a worker, but as a founder, a visionary, and a leader in your own life. If you haven't checked out the episode yet, I recommend it. And to you watching right now, what's one lesson you've learned from starting something new? Drop it in the comments below. Let's share and grow together. If this message resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more reflections like this. Because our careers, they're not just about surviving. They're about creating, evolving, and thriving, one brave step at a time. Thanks for watching. Until next time, build boldly, lead with heart, and keep becoming the CEO of You Inc.